What up, Five fans? It's Justin with Bobby
What's up, guys? Bobby
and
D here.
Chasen Palick.
What up, what up?
Welcome to Fairly Serious number 7. We just finished watching and discussing UFC Fight Night 144. So let's go over the results. Starting with Johnny Walker versus Justin Ledet. All right, so this fight didn't go on for very long. If you want,
So Johnny Walker comes in with the 15-second TKO in the first round. That's how the fight started and ended, pretty much.
Yeah, so basically, as you can see here, Johnny Walker comes over and he throws a lead hook kick, which you don't see a lot in MMA because that often leaves you open to takedowns and trips and all that. But he throws the lead hook kick, and Justin Ledet is mostly like a boxer. He was a professional boxer before, so I don't think Johnny Walker expected any takedown here. I think he just expected him to cover up, which is exactly what happened.
I don't think Johnny Walker really expected much of anything from him.
Yeah.
I think he was just expecting to run through him, like exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm. And so...
Yeah, so then the physical attributes from Johnny Walker are just like way superior than his opponent.
Yeah, and then like he's a finisher. Like the way he followed through with his rotation and threw that back fist.
Yeah, it looks like it was planned, to be honest. I think he'd practiced.
Yeah, it was a beautiful move. He transitioned from the lead hook kick to a back fist and caught him across the temple, and he was done. And then the ref should have, in my opinion, jumped in to stop it right there, but he landed a few ground and pound shots that were vicious
Tried to
afterwards.
soccer kick him as he was on the ground.
That would've been
Yeah,
bad.
that
he would have
part
got
was,
disqualified if he landed that.
right.
So that's that.
After this one, I believe. Yeah,
right
right
in the
here.
temple, right there. He
Right
lands him
here.
with
Yeah,
He drops him with the uppercut, right? He hit him. He hit him with the fist first, and then he went for the
Swinging
uppercut.
fist.
I think he missed the
Yeah, he
uppercut
didn't
because
land
he
it.
was falling.
Yeah, he didn't land
It
it.
was
Yeah,
over
yeah.
as soon as he landed that fist to the temple.
Yeah.
Swinging.
Yeah, but that was a great combination. It really looked like he planned it, honestly. I think
It just looked natural.
Yeah, he
His
probably...
movement's really good for the weight class.
Yeah, so, yeah, amazing knockout. This guy's definitely going to be climbing up the rankings.
I mean, he's already just shooting through his opponents. Who do you guys
Yeah.
think could be, upcoming
I think-
possibilities for Johnny Walker?
At light heavyweight, I think a good fight for him would be...
I say give him OSP.
That's what I
OSP has
was
a
thinking,
name. He's
yeah.
old.
He's on a losing streak too, right?
Exactly. Be
Yeah.
a crossroads
Yeah.
fight for him
Boost him, yeah.
and for
Yeah.
Johnny,
Yeah.
as it would either skyrocket him or either way, if he loses, then it's against
Yeah.
GSP. I
'Cause-
mean,
no, Ovik St. Preux.
right?
Yeah, because if he can beat him, then that would be huge because he has a name. And then
Mm-hmm.
if vice versa, if he beats
He's
this
still top
up-and-coming
10,
kid-
right? OSP?
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. Johnny Walker's got a name too, though. Let's
Now,
go.
yeah.
But no,
That's-
not even in UFC, man. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Let's go drink some Johnny Walker whisker, man.
That's
go.
actually
Come
how
on.
it got his name. Did you know his name
bet.
actually used to be Walker Johnny? That was his that's his legal name. He's
That's funny.
Walker
See, he's
Johnny.
embracing it.
Yeah, and
That-
people started calling him that, and he's like, "Oh, fuck it,
There
let's
you
do
go.
it." Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
What do you guys like, though? That red label, blue label, black label?
I like all of them. But yeah,
Mixed
he
together.
was straight postured up, like standing.
Yeah, and the way he throws his ground and pound is real scary.
Oh.
He winds all the way back and comes down.
Incredible, just velocity, fucking everything.
Yeah, see,
Power.
after the first one he landed, the fight. I mean, before that he even landed that first one. The fight should have been
Yeah,
stopped.
that guy was done. He was done.
But
Johnny Walker, impressive victory. First round, 15 seconds. One to look out for in the next coming
Oh yeah.
months and the year for him.
And he
It should
took
be a big year.
absolutely no damage, so he
Oh,
can
no.
fight right away.
he hasn't taken much damage in the UFC at all, really.
Right.
That Khalil Roundtree didn't even really touch him.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll go on to the next fight: Charles Oliveira versus David Tamer.
Tamer or Tame. I don't know.
Tamer.
Tamer.
So this fight, honestly, kind of stole the show for me. Just the way The excitement was in the fight. Both fighters came to bring it, and it wasn't, like a quick fight like we saw kind of in a lot of the other fights.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth because Oliveira was getting caught with
both
the
of them
straight
were getting
hands.
caught. They were not afraid to trade.
And let's bring up the controversy. Oliveira actually got a really bad eye poke in the first round.
Yeah,
and
there's I have some shots of that right here.
Real bad. One of the worst I've probably seen in sports.
And the ref deducted a point for it because it affected the fight.
I mean, as you can see in that picture that I just showed, his eyes were extremely like red.
So
that one eye that got poked.
It was off a push off right here from after
right
the
here.
kick.
So yeah, he goes to kick and then he tries to frame with his lead hand because he opens his hand. He wants to frame to find the distance for his right hand, and
viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah.
He gets like a knuckle deep into that.
So this
eyeball.
is the
And
beginning of the eye poke. This isn't even okay. And here you see, he walks forward, and Oliveira is going to counter, and this is when it really goes in. Oliveira doesn't feel the finger on the eyes. He just feels the hand in front of his face, so he knows he's in range to counter, right? So he goes to counter, and those eyes, look at that. It's gone. You can't even see the knuckle.
Oliveira does get time after this to recuperate and whatnot, and they do end up taking a point away from Tamer. But it didn't end up mattering because it didn't go to the scorecards.
Yeah, we had a finish in every fight on the main event except for the women's bout.
Right.
Yeah, so I thought this was really interesting. That was at the very beginning of the fight.
First round, and then right after, when they first started fighting again, he just does another one in his other eye. So
that one didn't get the point deduction, though, right?
No, that one wasn't as
first one,
brutal as the first one. It was just kind of like he threw a punt straight left, and it kind of just grazed him in the eye.
Yeah.
Do you think that was making him a little more hesitant later in the fight?
Oliveira? Or
no,
no,
Tamer.
he didn't care. He didn't care at all. He was trying to
kept
recuperate for that point.
Yeah.
If anything, Oliveira got even more mad and whatnot from that. And
yeah, he was pumped after.
Yeah.
You remember when he was like telling him like bring it in?
Oh yeah, and then that caused him to get dropped.
Yeah, he did get dropped in the first round by a straight punch, I believe.
Straight right.
Yeah. So what happened with that, I think, is right here. So Tamer goes, he throws the jab, and then he's going to. It looks like he's going up top with the overhand. I think he's faking it, and he throws the straight left right to the body, and I think that's what made Oliveira a little more cautious, and he started bringing his hands down to block that body shot.
Yeah,
and that's how he got caught with the straight right.
Also, I want to know, Oliveira's the one that got poked in the eye twice, but the cut that Tamer had, or like his whole eye just looked insanely red, and I had no idea from what either.
It was from the crane kick, when he like jumped,
right?
And I think the toes like grazed his face.
I think that was the different side though, because this is the crane kick right here. I have it, and he goes around. This is the
right
one,
side.
right?
Yeah. That's the right
Wasn't
side.
his cut on the left?
No, it's on his right.
Oh, okay. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, because that's what it has to be. It had to have been the toes, because it looked like a bruise and a cut.
Yeah,
like
it did, because his eye was really red. It wasn't just like bleeding or anything. His actual eyeball.
And he caught him like right on the end.
Yeah. It actually snapped his head back, I'm pretty sure. Like
yeah,
a
that was
little
a
bit.
great.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
And then also just the pressure that Oliveira brought. Like he was.
That first round was great.
And Tamer is a young up and comer. He has a lot of fights and a lot of wins, but like he's never had somebody in his face like this.
The way Oliveira was landing a lot of his counters was, instead of stepping back and trying to counter, he would just stay right there in front of you when Tamer came in to engage, and he would counter right off the engagement instead of trying to get out of the way and then counter. He literally hits you as you're coming in.
And then, I think what led to the actual finish in the end was Oliveira. Yep. A submission. It was basically a TKO, though, ladies and gentlemen. But so he was, when he was kicking, he was staying in place and not moving his head or putting his hands up. And Tamer was countering with straight punches, and then he got that step in elbow when he was trying to throw straight. So
yeah, and you see here, Oliveira a lot of times when he's going for the kicks, he won't step off to the side because I think he was expecting, he was expecting Tamer to go again to the body right here, when he threw that straight, in the beginning, but he just goes up top. He tries to counter him with the kick.
Does he slip that though? Because it looks like he slipped.
This is
No,
when he
this
got
is the
dropped.
one where that
Yeah.
dropped him. Around the middle of the first round.
Okay.
Yeah.
After he pumped him up. and
Yeah,
shit.
after
yeah.
he was trying to hype him up, he got knocked down.
Yeah.
It was a good shot too, clean, flush.
Yeah, but Oliveira does come back and land the knee that he was looking for to counter. I think he just timed it a little better the second time.
Yeah,
Right.
just way more
Pictures
experience.
coming up in a sec.
Way more experience too, for him. Also, landed the good jumping knee right here.
Oh yeah. Cha!
Yeah, on the side of the temple.
Yeah, you see, because he tried to land this one earlier, and he didn't really land it. Well, he kind of did. That was the one, the crane kick
Yeah.
that went around the side, right? And I think Tamer thought he was throwing the same thing right here, so he tries to go and counter it by getting his head
Yeah,
off the
he's
center
throwing-
line.
he's
He's trying to
throwing a
duck
punch.
under it, and the knee just comes straight in. Yeah, so very, very, what's the word? Very elusive striking by
Yeah.
Oliveira. He just
He's
switches it up,
unpredictable.
and
Yeah.
Very
I feel like he's always
fight.
planning things, for like what he's gonna throw next. He's setting stuff up with certain combinations, and yeah,
It's a game of
definitely.
chess for him, man. You know, he's
Yeah.
2-3 steps ahead of his opponent at all times.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he'll be climbing up the rankings as well. What do you guys think would be a good fight for Oliveira?
I mean, anybody in the ring with him, I feel sad for them. So whoever it is
He's an
next, I'm
absolute
watching
savage.
it. So.
Yeah.
I think Zabit versus Oliveira would be very interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one too.
Yeah, they're both very similar, like very good submissions on the ground and like very dynamic strikers. They can throw from like all angles and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I think just from their physical, like, how they are built.
Yeah, they're similar builds.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. Also.
Yeah. I would like to see that happen.
Yeah.
Because Oliveira lists himself at 5'11", but I'm pretty sure he's 6 feet. And then, like, he has long arms, too.
He might just look taller because he's skinny though.
Yeah, but they had the same listed height. Or, no, that guy was 5'10", but he looked a lot taller than
Yeah,
that guy.
Oh, yeah.
that's true.
Definitely.
Okay, so right here, beginning of the end, right?
Right.
Oliveira steps in. He's usually orthodox, but he steps in and he switches stances. He steps all the way in. He gets his legs almost in between Tamer's stance, and he gets all the way on the outside of that jab, that's just crazy how much he stepped over. Like, and he covered that short amount of that amount of distance in like such a short amount of
Yeah,
time.
it was quick. We had to watch it in slow motion to figure out what happened.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's because Oliveira came over with a right hook.
Oh,
fainting
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
So Tamer backed up a little, thinking that
No,
that's coming
Tamer
for him,
actually came in
Yeah,
to
'cause he was
counter
trying
it.
to counter him, yeah.
but
Yeah,
not for the hook. He backed up for the hook, and then when he realized that it wasn't coming in, then he goes in to counter, and that's when he just gets
Yeah.
caught.
Yeah, so he covered a little of the distance for him too, which, yeah.
But yeah,
S-
beautiful upward elbow. Right
yeah,
across the
very
jaw.
similar to Yair Rodriguez.
Korean
yeah.
Zombie,
yeah, I think we're gonna be seeing this elbow in MMA a lot more, to be honest.
It's a very effective.
Oh yeah.
So great fight. Go on to the next one.
Looking forward to seeing Oliveira soon in action.
We got Damien, or no?
Yeah, Damian Maia versus Lyman
Lyman
Good.
This one was also over very quick in the first round.
Right, another
Pretty much
quick
went
one.
exactly the way Damian Maia said it was gonna go.
Oh, yeah. Relying on his jiu-jitsu background.
Yeah, didn't do any damage to the other guy, really. Didn't get any damage done to him.
Yeah. And just immediately came out and pressured him, as you can see in the photo right here, backed him up to the cage, threatened him with a takedown, and Lyman Good couldn't. He threw one punch, but Maia just moved out of the way, and then it was a matter of seconds before he got a single. And
Yeah, and it was interesting to me because Lyman kept circling to the outside of Damian Maia. Or I mean, Lyman Good kept circling to like the rear hand of Damian Maia, and I thought that was really interesting because for someone who's looking for the takedown and trying to defend it, I would think you would be trying to circle the other way
But
against someone who's mainly a grappler.
Wouldn't that be to get away from his lead hand though, because it's closer to you?
Right.
You wouldn't want to circle to the lead hand, because
Yeah,
he's
but
just trying
as
to
you're
grab
if
you.
you're circling in that way and they cut you off, then it's a
Oh,
lot easier to
yeah.
get the takedown.
Because you're like already.
Yeah. So I thought it was really interesting how he just backed up to the cage and wasn't really trying to get out of that area.
Yeah.
He just stood there with him, and yeah, he wasn't really aggressive with like, but
I mean, he could have. Well, no, slamming down, he has the risk of hitting his own head on him or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
that's.
but yeah, we'll go on. with
And Damian
pictures.
Maia's he's won the World Jiu-Jitsu thing like 3 times. Like he's probably got a squeeze on him, like with his legs and his arms. Like once he gets a hold of you, it's probably like impossible to get.
Oh yeah,
out.
you have a
Yeah.
picture of him on top of him already, and that leg grab that or grasp that he had was just almost suffocating his
Yeah.
stomach.
Waiting for the picture to go to the next one. Yeah. Oh no, not this one. The one after, he throws this like really wide hook, and he doesn't. He like plants himself into the corner, and doesn't change direction at all. And I'm pretty sure this is when Damian Maia shoots in for the takedown almost right after.
Yeah. And he once he got a hold of him, it's just the beginning of the end. He's so good and so experienced, and Lyman Good just didn't really fight a smart fight. He really let Damian Maia get
Control
in
the
his comfort
pace
zone.
and everything, yeah. What do you think his game plan was coming into the fight?
Do you think he was scared or something
Good?
in Brazil? Yeah, good.
Yeah, good.
I mean, look at him. I don't think he could be scared of anyone, man.
But the crowd
The
in Brazil, the
specimen.
energy.
Yeah.
Damian Maia's been beating people for years.
You got
like-
Michael Bisping calling you a naturally great specimen. I don't think he could be scared of anyone. I think
But-
he just got outplayed today. It wasn't his night, and he should be coming back with some vengeance because I think he could do a lot better in a fight like this.
Yeah. How about potential fights for either guy? Or should we just do the winner? Yeah, potential fight for Damian Maia. What do you
Or
guys-
how do they stand in the rankings? You
Well,
know,
Damian Maia was
number-
falling back down the rankings,
Right.
but he should be around. He should be the same rank right now
Pretty
because
much, because
he was.
Lyman wasn't ranked.
Yeah, so he was fighting someone who was lower than him. So usually they just stay the same. I think he's ranked number 8 or 9.
Yeah, number
okay,
8.
I mean he can have get
Yeah.
up and
So he was on a
contenders
3-fight losing streak before this against was it Covington, Woodley.
all the wrestlers, yeah, and
It was
Usman.
3 Usman. Yeah, Usman. So yeah, just all the wrestlers. So I think for him to climb back up the rankings, a good fight might be probably not Wonder Boy. His footwork is too good.
Oh, Wonder Boy would piece him up.
Yeah,
man.
he'd probably catch him trying to go for the takedown. And,
Yeah.
a good fight for him.
I'm gonna pull up the rankings for welterweight right now. Because Damian Maia is a tough night for anybody. You risk getting choked like whenever you fight him. So it's always a bad matchup. A lot of fighters probably avoid him.
We have probably more pictures right now than how long the fight probably was.
Yeah, because it's taking a little time to scroll through it. This app's not too reliable right now.
Yeah, but
No, it's our fault, guys. Don't listen to that.
Lyman Good is
We're not blaming no one.
definitely a young, good guy. So I'd like to see him get another ranked guy because we didn't even get to see anything out of him. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, no punch or barely minimal punches were landed in the fight, let alone thrown.
Oh, you know who they should have Damian Maia fight? Neil Magny. Fight down in the
Oh,
rankings.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Neil Magny needs a fight. Damian Maia's getting old. And that's a smart fight for both of them, I think. I would like to see that matchup. And then
So yeah, the
Look at-
pictures are finally loaded. So yeah, you see right here, he hooks his left leg, and then with the weight of his body, pushes him down and trips it. The only standing leg at the same time. I don't know if you could see it from the pictures.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that thing's like blocking it. But yeah, that's pretty much what's happened. Just Damian Maia, amazing jiu-jitsu. There's not too much to explain.
outside trip, right? Or inside?
Yeah, and then when he gets the back, that's what was really interesting.
Yeah, so Damian Maia just took the back and then sweeped the guy's leg over
Like
and then
this.
just jumped on.
Here we go. Okay. Yeah, so he has the back, and he's going for, I think right here, he's going for the trip takedown, right?
Yeah.
But he steps the inside leg first, or he steps his right leg in first, and then when he does that, Good turns over to defend from getting tripped, and he just hops on the back right there.
So fast. He sunk his hooks in within like 2 seconds or like a second.
It wasn't like completely in at first though.
But he had him above the hips.
Yeah.
Like,
And yeah,
As he
instantly gets the body lock in. I don't think he had the body lock actually. I think he
not
did
until
the
he
yeah.
the butterfly thing.
But yeah, Lyman Good, he's not ranked.
No, he's not ranked
20
right
something.
now. They go that low? I thought it's only top 15.
Well, they have all the rankings, but they only show it for the people in the top 15.
Oh, so he's probably ranked pretty up there. He's beaten some people. He's been around for a little bit. So.
Yeah, Justin and I found this guy in boxing, actually. He's 0 for 40. He's ranked 262 out of 263 in Mexico. So,
Isn't there one
How is
guy?
somebody below him?
Someone is right
Yeah,
below
isn't there
him,
one
bro.
guy right below?
Like,
They
somebody
should
get a
fight.
fight,
Yeah,
yeah.
they should fight. I told Justin, I was like, I want to hit this guy up, be his manager, contract that fight against the last ranked person, and get him his first win.
Yeah, you should.
He will be 1 in 20, bro.
All right, maybe
Oh,
I'll get my boxing
here we
license.
go.
Just let him beat
Lyman
my ass.
Good
so he
is
can win.
ranked number 43.
43. He's down there.
There's it's welterweight's the most people, right?
Yeah. Welterweight has almost 100, like 96 people. So
Yeah.
he's only like halfway the
pack.
rankings.
Yeah, that's not
He
that
might have dropped a little bit, but
Mediocre. We don't look
Yeah.
at that here on this show.
yeah,
So
we'll
move
see
on
what
to-
he has to show in the next
Well,
fight, but we'll move on to the next fight. Aldo versus Moicano.
This fight was great as well.
Oh, yeah.
We got to see a display of just how good Aldo is defensively in boxing, and
And, you know, coming into the fight, Aldo being the underdog, I did not see how, but, I mean, Moiciano being the younger fighter, I guess, coming up in his game, being a crossroads fight for both of them. You know, Aldo, if he loses, I mean, he's on a losing streak already. It doesn't, or
he
I mean,
but he won his last fight.
he
Yeah,
had a tough losses. So, I mean, it wouldn't really hurt him, his career as much, but it didn't hurt Moiciano either. I mean, he got a lot of experience out of this fight.
yeah, and he lost to one of the greatest of all time. So.
Right. And Aldo
is-
is back.
This is true. Yeah, Aldo just it was beautiful. To
Yeah,
watch him work.
the simple, basically, just the simple Aldo timing.
Striking.
You see, he slips on the jab and comes right back with the right. I think this was like the first hard punch that landed.
that was a solid one. But Moicano has a good jab. So I thought if he could have survived and not got finished.
Yeah, I thought that was actually giving Aldo a little trouble in the beginning.
it was. He kept
wasn't-
tagging him with it.
because he
Yeah.
wasn't able to cover the distance. But
Right.
then when he started timing it and being able to slip the jab, he started going for those hooks to the body.
Yeah, he loves those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, after the last fight, how could he not?
The
Body
first,
shot,
the
or
first
blah, blah, blah.
round, Aldo came out with like great feints. He was slipping and stuff, but that was the one thing that was causing him to step back a little bit. That jab, he was doing a great job cutting off the distance.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, we
whatnot.
see it right here. We see
Right.
it right here.
Yeah, that didn't touch him, guys.
And I mean, Aldo with the win, TKO victory. He lands a great left and stuns Moiciano.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you see the move, just the amazing defense. Faldo right here slips again. Instantly knows the left hand's coming for the hook.
Blocks it.
Instantly knows the right hand's coming.
This was a beautiful sequence.
Yeah, it's
to
just
watch
perfect
live.
defense. You can see his eyes are closed. He doesn't even see what's happening. He just knows exactly
Instincts, yeah.
what's gonna happen. Which is mark of a great fighter.
Jose Aldo celebrating with a Fortnite dance at
yeah.
the end of the fight once they crowned him victorious, you know?
He did it for his last fight too. It's so funny.
It's so funny, and that's great, putting a little humor into
we
it for
got
the
some
people.
of the
The one that goes like
No, he
Yeah.
put the L.
Oh,
He
the
was
L
dancing,
dance.
Yeah.
Gave him the L.
So yeah, this picture came out a little sideways, but that's my fault. Basically this is the fight finishing right here.
no. This is when when he got him with that left hook, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that was the start of it?
beginning,
Oh,
yeah,
the beginning of.
So
Gets a distance with the body shot and then tags him with the left hook.
Yeah, so I think Moicano was expecting that right hand. He was trying to time it and counter it with his knee,
yeah.
and obviously that didn't work out, and it left him wide open. He didn't even have his hands up here, which
He looked like Charles Oliveira right here.
yeah, exactly. Has his knee up. He's straight on the center. Hasn't moved anywhere off the center line. Aldo comes in, moves right off the center line, and that shot's just wide open for him right there.
Moves in with his lead hook and just straight across the jaw.
Yeah, he's still on one leg too when he gets hit. So
yeah, that's
it's-
bad.
Yeah. It was amazing that he was still standing, to be honest.
Yeah, this guy he's got heart, he's got a chin, he's young, he's tall, he's got a great jab. I'm sure he's good on the ground. He has submissions, so.
Yeah, I think, it wasn't Oliveira. It was Moicano who only had rear naked choke submissions. It was one of the Brazilian guys. I got it mixed up.
All
But,
right.
yeah, he was the one that only has rear naked choke submissions for some reason.
Yeah, so all the potential fights, what do you guys think?
Although, I mean, he's still number 2.
Can we stop the pictures real quick?
I'm trying. It's lags.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Like, I swipe and then it takes a sec to catch up.
Got it.
Yeah, so potential fights for Aldo. He's still number 2, right? He's still ranked number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Who's at number 1? There's
For featherweight, it's probably Brian Ortega.
Oh,
'cause he
yeah,
just lost
yeah,
to the
yeah.
champion.
So
Dude,
that would be.
yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah,
would
that
sell,
sounds
too.
like a
Yeah.
lit fight. I don't know why they haven't fought before.
Both of them have lost to Max
The
Holloway
champ,
in brutal
yeah.
fashion.
So probably both of them have to defeat the other one in brutal fashion to like gain another title shot.
I would
chance.
love to see that fight.
Because Aldo,
I don't
it's
even know
hard
if
to.
Aldo wants another title shot.
He doesn't. There's
Yeah.
a direct quote from him. He said he doesn't care. He has 3 fights left, and whoever they put in front of him, he's just gonna mess him up.
Yeah, he's
Like,
just
that's-
gonna go out
That's
for
the mentality.
paychecks right now.
Yeah.
It's straight fighter mentality.
Honestly,
Because he took a lot of damage from getting brutally knocked out.
he's already
by-
proved himself in his
yeah.
career. He
Yeah.
doesn't need another belt to say, "Oh yeah, I'm the best." No,
Yeah.
he has proven himself in this like division and UFC. So I mean, he just does what he does.
Ooh, how about Frankie Edgar versus Jose Aldo?
That would be badass.
Two legends, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'd call Frankie a legend.
They're
too.
both like going out pretty much
Yeah,
too.
that's a fight to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brawlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be. I think
I think haven't they
Aldo
fought
and
before? They fought before.
yeah, I think they fought twice, right?
Yeah.
Aldo beat him
Number-
like both times.
Number 3.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Ortega would be a good fight too. They're about the same height, right? At least it lists they are. But
Ortega's like 5'11", dude. He was like almost the same size as Max.
yeah,
Oh,
it
wait, no,
says
Max-
he's like 5'8", but
Max is 5'11". Ortega's probably like 5'9" or something.
yeah.
5'10".
So yeah, that would be. I think they have like pretty similar because Aldo has pretty long arms for how short he is.
he just covers distance and like I love watching him fight.
His striking
honestly,
is
Yeah.
It's so good.
So
Yeah.
technical, just like a
His
master.
ground game is also just
Oh,
great.
yeah.
That's how I've initially found him.
It's
his
funny
ground
because
game,
you
and
don't
then-
see
Yeah.
too much of his ground game recently because he's just
Because people can't take him down.
yeah.
How about for Moicano? Who do you guys think?
Moicano, he was ranked at number
7.
7.
No, 5. Yeah,
Five?
5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5.
One of the odd
5
numbers.
plus 2 equals 7, though. So that's why.
There we go. I'd like to see him fight Volkanovski, who just knocked out Chad Mendes.
Oh, dude, that would be a good fight.
They're both young too.
Mhm. He retired Chad Mendes.
He did.
Yeah.
We saw it live.
Yeah,
But,
that shit was crazy.
It's kind of a contrast to styles. You got, or not styles, but body types. You got a
Mhm.
short wrestler.
yeah,
you
good
got the tall
stylistic
striker.
matchup.
Yeah.
So he would have to probably be really careful with leaving his hands down like that, fighting someone like Volkanovski.
That guy has hammer hands. dude.
Yeah, and his overhands are crazy powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it for this fight. We'll go on to the main event.
Rafael Assuncao versus Marlon Moraes. This one, a really good fight card put together. All the fights were competitive, and we had finishes. So, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, when you're a fight fan.
So
Yeah.
this is the rematch between the two. Assuncao winning the first fight between them in a close decision. Chasen, you called it even controversial, saying could
Yeah,
have gone
it
either
could
way.
have gone either way.
Right? I love how they had the rematch in Brazil for the two fighters. Really brought it back to home. And
Yeah.
Moraes just dominating this fight, coming out like
Yeah.
an animal, dude.
His last 3 fights are first round finishes of top ranked guys, so I would love to see something with him fighting for a title.
He should be because
He's up to number 2 now, right?
He's
In
number
bantamweight?
4 and Assuncao was number 3 and he just beat him, but like Dominic
Oh, so
Cruz
he's
doesn't
number
even
3.
fight.
He
And
just
Cody-
pulled out of another fight
He
because
gets
he was
injured all the
injured.
time,
Yeah.
But Cody Garbrandt has a fight coming up with Pedro Munoz.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Oh, that guy's pretty dope. He won he won his last fight.
Yeah.
I remember.
But yeah, so in this fight we had a crazy overhand knockdown. Marlon Moraes caught him with the overhand right or left. I can't remember. I think it's right. And then just was patient, waited in his guard, and then got the finish by guillotine.
Yeah, he was really patient. He didn't try to rush his passes. I thought like every time he did get into a better position, but then he started losing it, he would kind of reset himself and get back in the full guard and not posture up too much. Because when you posture up is when you start to lose the guard and lose your mount position. So I thought he was really patient. Just kept really close to Assuncao and kept his hand and his elbows on his head, try to keep him frustrated basically. And then
he got cut. Assuncao got cut. We're thinking by the mat because it was in the time frame between him getting knocked down and
A
around the
scramble.
time,
Yeah.
I think it was right after he had like the elbow on his face, when his face was like pressed up against the mat,
right,
and I think like when he came up from
scratching
that,
the-
that's when it got
pulling
cut.
the skin from the mat, right.
So yeah, right here, it wasn't right here. It was after this.
This is when he's doing the choke. He got that underhook.
Oh yeah. So right here, dang it, give it a second. Just give it a second. Oh, that's way quicker. Okay. So he has his head. Well, Assuncao, yeah, he had his arm over the neck of Moraes, and I think he was like trying to go for a guillotine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to go for a guillotine, but Assuncao gets his head out, and
Moraes.
Moraes gets his head out, and that puts him in the perfect position for his guillotine because Assuncao had put his arm over.
Yeah.
He had put his arm over for that guillotine, and basically when he gets his head back, he's in the perfect position.
He throws his underhook under the left arm, and then Assuncao starts to posture up against the fence.
Yeah, I think
and
he
just-
panicked right here, so he wasn't using his other arm to fight or anything, because he knew his other arm or his left arm was already stuck. And he wasn't using his right hand at all because, like you said, I think he was panicking.
Yeah.
And he tried to stand up, and that's what really lost him his position.
Because he left his neck out
Yeah.
right there for the choke.
Yeah, you see on the bottom right there how his glove is touching the canvas. I thought he should have scooted back or try to get his arm in between the left arm
Yeah, the choke.
the left arm of Assuncao, but shit happens.
Oh, yeah.
Probably like not thinking that much in the moment. He's just trying to get out of
he
it.
got
Hey,
rocked.
Yeah, and he was
literally-
rocked as well.
Literally shit happens though, because poor Moraes, man. He was having some difficulties fight week, bro. Like, he almost didn't fight. He said himself in the post-fight interview that
Some
the
mad
fight
diarrhea.
was not going to happen. Take a listen to this. Check this out.
Better and better.
Yeah, man.
Wheezing a
You
little
wanted
from
the
fight.
microphone. Go ahead.
Man, first of all, I want to tell you guys, man, you almost lost the main event. I had diarrhea all week, bad.
The way he
Catch
says
the-
it,
the
diarrhea.
mosquito here and mess up with... Galera, falar em português aí com vocês, desculpa.
He said he got the mosquito that gave him diarrhea. Along with that, he went ahead and sent Dillashaw a message.
Send the message to TJ.
Hey, TJ, I don't know if you deserve to fight with me after your last performance, my friend. I'm sorry. I might have to take somebody else and let you go down and hunt for the little boys.
Marlon Moraes, ladies and gentlemen.
So yeah, I would love to see him fight for a title.
Little boys.
Jeebers,
He's
bro.
so explosive and just lightning fast. Like,
Yeah, and he doesn't really slow down. Like
Yeah.
maybe towards like the third round a little bit, but
I don't know.
he doesn't really
looks-
slow down.
He's really good.
So what about the third fight? When's that gonna happen?
For
Oh,
their
with
split.
these two?
Yeah, man. They're
Yeah.
split. To be
Hey.
honest, that first fight between the two, it was Moraes' first fight in the UFC. He probably had a little bit of, nerves and whatnot. But he came out improving that he was a better fighter tonight. So see if can come back and try to prove himself again.
Yeah, I would like they're both gonna be around. They could make it happen eventually. Yeah, they're both really good. Do you have some pictures from the knockdown? Because that overhand was insane.
I don't know. Do you think Dillashaw's gonna stay down
Dude,
there,
even on
or
the guillotine choke right
are they
there?
gonna
I think
square it
Dillashaw's
out?
gonna come back to 35 because he
He cannot hang at
Yeah,
127,
yeah,
125.
125. Yeah. So yeah, the guillotine choke, like it looked like he tried to roll out, and Moraes like kicked his legs to get him over.
Right here.
Yeah. See how he's under him still? Like, it looks
Mhm.
like he was trying to circle. So, because you know how to have a guillotine, you either have to be, like, on mount or have him in full guard. Like, if you just get the side control, like, it's not going to choke you that bad.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what Assuncao was trying to do. And then, like, Moraes did the butterfly sweep thing and, like, pushed him over and then just ended up on top of him, just choking him.
Like that.
Boom.
Yeah, and he had his arm in there too, which makes less room for his neck, and it's probably just so much pressure and the weight of Moraes on him.
Yeah. Pressure.
Yeah,
It's a house and some pressure.
beautiful, beautiful finishing ability by this guy. He's a straight savage on the ground and on the feet.
Yeah, just domination. I really think this guy's gonna win the title. To be honest,
Me
I
too.
don't think. Well, I mean, you can't really base it off TJ's last fight because he was cutting weight and all that, going down division.
Just TJ doesn't have a chin, and this
Yeah,
guy's got the
yeah.
finishing instincts. So
And I think this guy has a chin, and
yeah, he's good.
yeah, I don't think TJ could finish him, but I think he could finish TJ. So
But TJ is one of the best in the world. It's a fight that I would.
yeah, I
honestly,
would definitely
yeah.
love to see this fight. But for Assuncao, he was number 2 before, right? So now
He was number 3.
So Moraes was number 4.
Yes.
Okay, so he's back down to number 4.
Yeah, they probably just swapped him.
Yeah. I can't remember.
John
who's in the
Lineker.
bantamweight. Oh. Yeah, his last fight didn't happen, right?
Mm-mm, he got injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a great fight.
I want to see it because Sterling is booked up. I can't remember who he's fighting, but he's
Yeah, he has a fight coming up as well.
I think it's
remember.
Jimmy Rivera.
Oh, the
who's
one that
ranked
just
above
got
him.
finished?
Yeah, that was in June.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Jimmy Rivera and Aljamain Sterling, I think, is a fight that's gonna happen.
I like Sterling.
Me too.
It's
I love his
interesting.
wrestling.
Very like unorthodox wrestling.
I like the lanky guys that
Yeah.
are trying to wrestle. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, like us.
Yeah. But yes, do we have a picture from the knockdown, or did we just get all the grappling?
I might have like a little clip right here. Let's hope we don't get fucked for this.
Yeah, hopefully not.
We got it in slow mo here.
So yeah, we got 2 guys bouncing around right now. But yeah, great card put together. Second one on ESPN. I'm happy and sad that they got the deal because it's gonna lead to a lot of casual fans. But
Yeah.
it's good exposure, and I hope the sport blows up even bigger
Yeah.
than it is.
A lot more Conor McGregor fans.
Yeah.
Have you heard that one thing? I forgot who said it. Like one of the commentators is just like, imagine in like 20 years when like everyone on the streets just knows how to fight. Like like your mom and your grandma, like everyone knows how to fight.
That's
Like-
a crazy concept.
Yeah, what a world that would be.
No one would fight.
If you learn like yeah,
If
exactly.
you know how to fight,
If-
you wouldn't fight people.
Yeah.
Why was that just be coming up though? Like we've
Because it's